Well, hello everyone, it's Liam Catterson here. It's the X-Files episode 9 of season 1. So, yeah, we're about to hit halfway terrain. Crazy to say that with this first season. And it's been a blast. It's been really enjoyable, and I've just really enjoyed what we've got so far. I'm expecting things to kind of pick up a little bit in terms of maybe overall story arc and whatnot. But I've just been really enjoying my time with this show anyway, so it's been really, really solid stuff. Especially with how kind of isolated that last episode felt, obviously, with them at that base, and it was a very, very interesting story, especially in regards to that worm, or those worms, should I say, plural, and, yeah, how, again, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. vibe was there, it could have been there for me in my mind, but, yeah, it was still really, really horrific and bone-chilling, and, yeah, and tension definitely raised, so it was fun, absolutely fun. We love a good bit of tension. This is episode number 9 of season 1. Let's go.
By revealing surprising geologic information, the presence of large amounts of water locked in Mars' polar ice caps, water that some speculate could have possibly sustained life on the planet.
Water on Mars. If you're a Whovian like me, that's bad. That's bad. It's gonna be one of those situations where it's left in the unknown, isn't it? I don't know. No, it's just a ceiling. Oh my god, that's kind of terrifying. Alright, that's freaking treepy. That's freaking treepy. Treepy. We're calling it a new word now. Treepy. Where it's got the extra eeriness into it. New word.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7,
Do something.
6, 5, 4, 3. Abort liftoff.
I was gonna say, did he just...
System failure. Abort liftoff. Repeat.
Why the cloak and dagger routine?
I have no idea.
Think it's a crank?
Oh, sorry, Cloak and Dagger. Just
Beginning to
Marvel
look that
Rivals
way.
brain rot. As against the world.
Oh, yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Liquid fuel system and the orbiter would have exploded on the launch pad.
Oof.
This was sent to me in the mail.
Just Challenger vibes.
It's to score, that material would take extreme temperatures, launch pad temperatures. If anyone at
Ooh.
NASA were to take a look at that analysis,
And it's
they would
not
say
like
that it would
they
be impossible for anyone to
Light
do
them
that
up
type
or
of
whatever.
damage undetected.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea who may have sent that to you?
It's aliens.
No.
The failure of the Hubble telescope and the Mars observer directly connected to a conspiracy to deny us evidence.
Evidence of what?
What do you think?
Alien civilization.
What do you think?
No, of course.
Of course, there we go.
An honor to meet you. You were a big hero to me when I was a kid.
Hey, he's
I
starstruck.
stayed up all night when I was 14 to watch your spacewalk.
Well, now it's like strolling around the block.
I'm kidding. We love you. We love you,
can I help?
Mulder.
For one man working by himself, or 2 or 4 men, to do what you're suggesting.
Jesus.
I can assure you there isn't a person in this facility that doesn't
But you
want to see that
looked a
shuttle
bit
go into
shaky
space,
with
complete
3
its mission,
seconds left to
and
launch.
come back like winged victory.
Unless he did it. He did it. This is going to be a case for Mulder. Never meet your heroes.
Look, there are about 17,000 things that can go wrong with a shuttle, and about 17,000 people who make sure they don't.
The
And who
clock's
makes
ticking.
the final determination?
Bovis?
God, I hope so.
That's it though, like...
This is Shuttle Launch Control with T-minus 1 minute, 40 seconds and counting. TC is go for orbiter access arm reset. OGC,
I don't... This is it though, they're gonna have to just put their faith in...
Copy, set up.
Here we go.
Holy...
This is
Roger that, 10-4.
Roger, next view. Go with throttle back.
Yep, there we go. Look at Mulder. What a fanboy.
Roger. Throttle at 1.
She can't see shit in these conditions. Oh my god, what the hell? Is that same face that plagued... What the oh my god.
It was grotesque. I don't know what it was.
Here's the thing though, like with her knowing about Contact being down, and everyone else is still here and all of that. Yeah, at NASA. And here's the thing, with her like wanting, like, I mean, she had her suspicions anyways. It makes sense that this thing is going to try and silence her.
Did you see anybody else in here?
It's
Okay,
not
call
him.
security. I want a search of the premises. I don't want anybody coming in or out of this building who doesn't have proper clearance.
The rotation maneuver. I'm breaking up OTC. We're not.
What's the attitude of the orbiter?
Oh, there he is.
Flying tail first.
Take a chance they'll be able to perform that rotation maneuver and deliver the payload.
What if they can't? We could be stranding them up there.
He's being played.
Abandon telemetry. Go.
You take care.
Oh heck.
OTC, this is Houston. Where are you?
This is not. This is.
How do you do, Houston? Looks like
Okay.
we finally got this bird to fly right.
There we go. They had this handled.
Bring those men back without delivering that payload? You're talking millions of wasted dollars. That's all Congress would need to shut down NASA.
As of 2200
Take a big
hours,
risk, isn't
the
it?
crew has been conducting onboard night launch. The shuttle orbiter has performed magnificently.
I think to differ. So he's just bullshitting.
Boyhood hero.
I'm sorry, it's my job. Do you think someone is sabotaging the shuttle?
My answer to you, sir, will be to bring those men back safely to Earth.
It's one thing to have this confident demeanor on him, but we know that he is, which I'm no doubt gonna, I've no doubt it's gonna flare in a moment, but there is a bit of fear.
There's something out here. Can you repeat that, Commander Bell? It's coming at me. Holy God!
Wait, that thing, that, ooh, got a new theory, Doc. Oh my God! Piss off, ghost! What the hell? I mean, I was gonna make a theory saying, like, given the flashback, maybe, you know, he, whatever he encountered latched on, because, I mean, that thing that was plaguing him and Jenneru, I mean, it's not like that. It's divergent from the whole story, I guess, going on with those two, with Bella and Jenneru. It's not like it's a isolated thing that we'll pick up next episode or whatever. But I was gonna say that did that latch on to him or something like that? Kind of like, you know, I'm just thinking back to the Venom symbiote and all of that, and how I think it latched onto J. Jonah Jameson's kid. I can't remember, but something akin to that, and it made its way to, and here we are. So, we did more than that. It seemed like it was I don't know, possessing him somehow, because there was that visual. That's kind of Oof.
Liquid O2 leaking out into space. The exact same thing happened to Colonel Belton on an Apollo mission.
How much time do they have?
Shit.
Well, that's hard to know without accurate telemetry
history's
data.
repeating.
We're doing the calculations, but it'll just be a guesstimate.
I need some answers.
Guesstimate.
And where is
Love it.
Colonel Belt?
Kids.
It's an oxygen leak. Even I can figure out what happens when you run out of oxygen.
Colonel Belt's been up there in the same situation before.
Yeah,
He'll know
you
better
need
than anybody else what
expertise.
to do. He's got to make the decisions.
Where the hell is he?
Would you think he'd be here?
Life, and if you can't accept that or
Oh,
operate
no.
effectively in these circumstances, then maybe you better leave the decisions to people in this room who can.
Christ! I mean, Gabba, you have experience, but
Wrong. I think Colonel Belt knows about it, and he's known about it from the beginning.
Gotta stop him. We've got to pull them out of orbit.
He doesn't want those men to die.
How do you know?
I know it. I'm sure of it.
you might just be blinded
He may be
with
the only person who can get him
that
down alive.
hero bias.
Now, how can you be certain that...
Kind of assume whatever possessed Belt sabotaged, always be acknowledged the sabotage.
Roger, TC. There's some kind of ghost outside the ship.
What do you experience?
No.
Oh shit! And you know when Belt's like, no.
1 week before the space shuttle blew up, and the analysis was ordered by Colonel Belt.
Are you saying he might have known about the Challenger?
Yo!
Something weird is going on here, Scully.
Colonel Belt.
Because we know.
Where is he?
He's in his office.
Because we know what the fuck happened to that as well. I mean, I did make a mention of it earlier on that it was giving those vibes, but I mean, I guess there was a reason. I mean, obviously, with this whole situation and how it nearly just blew up from launch and all of that, you kind of do flash your mind back to the Challenger, I guess. But for it to be like a bit of a continuation here is just like insane. Holy shit.
Focus your breathing. Focus your pain. Right here.
Blood pressure's 174 over 120. Vitals are rising.
Mully, you're risking an aneurysm.
Focus.
How does he know?
How has it been damaged?
I'm responsible.
Did you sabotage the shuttle?
No, but I couldn't stop them.
The thing that was possessing him. Shit!
Stop me.
He's gonna die, isn't he?
It's coming at me. It's coming at me.
Holy shit. That is haunting. Really haunting.
That's the face I saw in the fog.
We're losing him. Defib.
Shit. This is creepy.
Clear.
Agrees you'll be landing at Kirtland Field in Albuquerque. Do you copy?
Ionosphere re-entry, temporary blackout in effect.
Did they get that transmission?
2 minutes to re-establish.
Damn it.
We'll just have to wait and see now. I'm assuming they will have gotten it. Because I can't see this end tragically for them, but
How much oxygen do you
knows?
have?
Come in, OTC.
Houston, this is OTC. You know a
Oh.
good place to eat in Albuquerque?
Ah!
Eat for dinner.
Thought we'd be for dinner. Love it.
And for the future of mankind.
Oh no. Is that thing back to haunt him again?
Into space. To unlock the doors of the universe, and we don't even know what's behind them. I think whatever it was, he took it with him. And in the end, that was the only way he knew how to stop it.
Holy
Here's
shit.
an investigation, you know.
And let it rise up to your heavens, higher than he could ever go as a man. Let him know the true nature of the universe that he sought to learn.
It's sad, really, for like, especially for Mulder as well. Like, would love that, like the focus on the stars. I know it's the American, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, he was an astronaut, so, and one of those big ambitions as an astronaut is to go beyond where, well, no ordinary person can really go to. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say touch the stars, but you get the idea. Yeah. No, in all seriousness, though, I do feel like so bad for him because of the whole idea that he was actually like. I did have my hunches early on about the fact that he could have sabotaged it. I mean, early on, very early on. Very early on, we kind of got the idea that, well, maybe something possessed him. I don't know, just because of that face that emerged from the ceiling. Very creepy, and again, the whole fact of the visuals, like for '93, is just insane. I mean, I don't care how well. I don't care how visuals can kind of look and all of that in terms of like if something does look tacky or anything like that. But I'm not one of those people who you know has such a huge, I don't know, problem when it comes to, you know, CGI and all of that. So yeah, but I mean, you just got to think with how limited 1993 would have been compared to obviously 2025. And it looked really great. It looked very creepy. It looked very daunting. So, absolute insanity. But, yeah, some good stuff. Very stressful. Very stressful. I'd say in the middle. It's not a bad episode by any means, but I wouldn't call it a, you know, fantastic episode or anything like that. But I did appreciate quite a few aspects about this episode, about how scary that face was. And the fact is, we don't, like, there is such a mystiqueness to it, because there is no idea to determine what this thing is, and there is no idea to kind of, apart from the fact that the Colonel had to, you know, jump to his death because, you know, he couldn't take this thing anymore. There's such a mystiqueness to it. So, yeah, it was just very, very, you know, great to have that go on. But, because that's it though, like, there are going to be some, like, it does, I guess, kind of prolong the whole life out there affirmation that clearly story-wise Scully isn't ready for. So yeah, but there is, I don't know, there's such a interesting uniqueness to this kind of ghost alien thingy-mabob there. But not just that though, but I think visually, as I think that was one of the standout things, the visuals for this alien thing. It's just the way that the Colonel's face morphed to that creature. So yeah, and not even that though, but when it plagued the Colonel from the very get-go, as well as the as well as Jenru. I don't know. There was it was kind of startling. So yeah, it was just really great to have that. But yeah, the stress, I would say, with this episode was pretty. I mean, it's funny because I kind of had a feel they're not gonna kill off these astronauts and all of that, especially in the final hurdle. There was a moment where I was thinking, okay, like when they did launch the shuttle, based on prior concerns, it was going to blow up. So, yeah. But instead, it just became an episode. There's no one there, Milo. There's no one there. He just thinks someone's there. There isn't, though. He's just reacting to noise outside. No, but in where was I? Yeah. I thought that the shuttle was going to get destroyed from the very beginning, just based on prior concerns. And from there on, it just became a very kind of stressful endeavor, but at the same time, you kind of had a feeling where things were going to go, if that makes sense. Because of the fact that, like, again, that is that feeling. There is that feeling, oh, they're not going to kill them off here, right? So, and it was more so just delving into the stress of those working at, like, NASA and whatnot. So, yeah. To the point where it kind of felt like, funnily enough, Mulder and Scully, like, what was it very interesting was, with the opener, and whatnot, like, we had, like, the opener, it kind of felt like Mulder and Scully were absent, like, completely from the episode. Oh, this is going to be one of those, Mulder and Scully-like episodes, isn't it? So, it kind of felt like, it was giving off that vibe. So, it's very, very apt that with this episode, they kind of didn't really have much to do, in a sense. It was like they were there, for some reason, there is that vibe, so you can, chalk that down to a bit of a con about this episode, about the fact that it kind of felt like there was a lacking of contribution there. So, yeah, I mean, they did become messengers for the Colonel in order to give the right instruction to the astronauts, but, I mean, they couldn't really determine what this thing was, so, and it kind of felt like they weren't there in a sense. So, yeah, I mean, obviously there was that alien thing, and Mulder did want to meet his hero and all of that, and it was going to be this case of, well, it's not always, cracked up to be, isn't it? In terms of, meet your heroes, when obviously the Colonel was being possessed and all of that. So, yeah. But other than that, it just, I mean, they did have their squabbles, did Mulder and Scully, about the payload and all of that. But other than that, it just felt like a little bit of an absence for some reason. So, yeah, but, yeah, like I said, I kind of had that little vibe that the Colonel was going to be behind this, but more so for whatever was possessing him. Because they kind of set it up from the very beginning, I would say. So, yeah, and it was kind of, like, it was kind of sad to see him deteriorate, like, especially in his office when, Scully kind of chastised Mulder about how he was at risk and all of that. So, yeah, but, yeah, I mean, apart from that, I mean, yeah, this episode didn't really have too much going for it. It kind of felt a little bit empty. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, there are moments that you could appreciate from this, such as the stressful nature. So, and of course the alien, that was, like I said, plaguing, well, not just Belt, but seemingly later on and all of that, the astronauts. But aside from that, yeah, it kind of felt like a bit of a like, for Mulder and Scully to kind of, for me, not have too much to do and all of that. It's like they're just there and whatnot. Yeah, it kind of feels like a middle of the road kind of episode. So, nothing too crazy, nothing too amazing and all of that. But, yeah, so, I was surprised as well that they did try to connect this episode to the Challenger. That's one thing that was, definitely a bit of a surprise for me, because of the fact that, well, they're not going to do that, are they? And they had that kind of nod to the oh, yeah, it feels wrong to say nod because there does, like, it is an acknowledgement, but you do feel it might be a little bit, I don't know, it might be a little bit disrespectful to kind of, like, link that devastating event. I mean, obviously, with the concerns about this shuttle, and whatnot, you do kind of get Challenger vibes. So, and you think, okay, well, people will connect the dots and all of that. Yeah. And you don't think that they'll act on it, like, in terms of, oh, let's kind of link this together in terms of, well, the Colonel most likely knew about the Challenger, so, yeah. But, yeah. Apart from that, though, yeah, kind of a middle of the road, middle ground, middle-esque episode, I would say. So, yeah, but apart from that, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles!